Everybody, this is Axter99 again. Going to get ready for week 7 of my fantasy football league and show you the results of week 6. I barely pulled out a win. Let's go ahead and go into that and go into my fantasy league here. Let's go ahead and first of all show you what happened last week with my game. I played in your ass and barely squeaked out less than a 5-point win. That's only about, alright, got the ad cut out now. Yep, just about a 5-point win, just under a 5-point win over Inyas. Put him down to 2-4. That does bring my record to 6-0. Looking pretty good here. Gives me a 6th win in a row. And if you look at what happened, I made a video where I tried to go ahead and get Cole Beasley to replace AJ Green because AJ Green has that injury. So I put in Cole Beasley. I was thinking, he might be the breakout star for Dallas. I had a feeling Dallas was going to win. You just never know who that breakout star is going to be on a team when they pull out a win. I figured Des Bryant and Terrence Williams might be pretty well covered, and either Cole Beasley or Witten might get majority of the catches. But I was wrong on that. I didn't get a whole lot of points out of that. Larry Donnell I put in instead of Zach Ertz, and it looks like I should have put in Zach Ertz there because he had a 10.7 game and Donnell only had 0.6. Tony Romo had a decent game, but Tom Brady, I guess I should have played him with 30.74 points. Now I have a decision to make because Tom Brady plays tonight here in just about an hour when football kicks off, and I believe he plays the Jets. Anyway, let's take a look here and see what happened. He probably didn't win because if you in your ass are watching this game, you didn't, replace or even try to get a replacement for Jimmy Graham as your tight end. I noticed you didn't have any other tight ends on your bench, but you could have went and got somebody, and that might have been the difference maker there. Really, the only reason I won was because of that, and the Lions had a monstrous game. 21-point game for a defense is huge versus their Panthers 1-point game. Steven Gutowski also had a big game, 15 points. That's a big game for a kicker. He had 4 PATs and 2 40 to 49-yard field goals, 1 50-plus yard field goal. So he had a monstrous game for a kicker as well. Golden Tate didn't do that well. Finally, LaShawn McCoy had a decent game, or a good game rather, with a 27 to win over the Giants. Trent Richardson also produced. Julio Jones didn't have as big a game as he usually does. And to be honest, I was pretty lucky to win this game. Putting in Cole Beasley, Donnell having a bad game, and Golden Tate not having a good game. I was pretty lucky to come away with a win here, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and see what I did here. I did make some changes here. Tuesday, or I believe it was either Monday night. I believe it was Monday night when I made some changes. And what I did is I went ahead and replaced Beasley. My gut feeling about him having a good game against Seattle was obviously wrong. But Andre Holmes, this is a guy I talked about Dallas had a couple of years ago in their preseason that they was looking as an available receiver, and I really liked Andre Holmes in their preseason. I believe it was 2012. And I really hope Dallas would receive him. He's a big 6'4", about 200-pound guy. And Dallas didn't keep him. They let him go, and he's been doing wonders for the Raiders, especially this season. So I went ahead and dropped Cole Beasley and added Andre Holmes. And I also dropped Chris Ivory and picked up Antoine Smith for Atlanta just because it looks like he's doing a little better. Chris Ivory just hasn't been doing a whole lot for me, so went ahead and did that. I did drop the Arizona Cardinals last week to pick up Cole Beasley, and it looks like somebody picked up the Cardinals and dropped the Steelers. So interesting there. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and let you know. So let's go ahead and get up to our next game, which is Team Money. Now this is going to be a good one for me because I'm 6-0, and if you look at the records here, I'm Virtual Venom 6-0. A lot of the guys 2-4, 2-4, 2-4, 1 3-3 guy, and 1 4-2 guy, and only one contender here right now within a game of me, and that's Team Money 5-1. He's been producing more points this season than I have. He's had more points against him, and that's probably why he lost the one game. But he's on a 5-game winning streak. I'm on a 6-game winning streak, so this is definitely a big matchup this week. Probably going to be the toughest matchup so far for me for the season. Let's go ahead and look at this Week 7 matchup here for me. And I'll probably have another ad here I'll have to cut out. All right, so if you look at this, the predictions right now are showing a 20-point defeat for me, more than a 20-point defeat as far as the projections. Again, we can't go on the projections, but obviously it looks like I'm up against a stiff opponent with T-Money, 5-1 record. Let's take a look and see what's going on here and what they're predicting. So we have a couple of guys we need to get rid of. I got rid of Cole Beasley there, that's why he's there. But I do have a lot of guys on the bench here that I need to put in here. I also have LaShawn McCoy with a bye, so that's going to hurt me big time, not having him and the Eagles having a bye this week. So the Giants against Dallas, Donald. I don't know. Dallas defense is doing pretty good. I don't know how well they're going to be. Zach Ertz is on a bye, so I don't have a lot of choices there for tight end. So I guess I'm going to leave Donald in. I'm probably going to go ahead and put in, let's see here. I don't think A.J. Green is going to play this week. Let's see. Didn't practice on Thursday, and today's Thursday. We'll revisit either his practice under his belt. White, it looks iffy at best for Sunday's game against the Colts. So I'm going to have to watch him, and Saturday I'll replace him if it looks like he's definitely going to play, but probably not going to play A.J. Green again. Let's see here. I'll probably put in my new Smith for running back for Atlanta, projected 9 points in place of McCoy. And I also have Terrence West, but it doesn't look like they're predicting him to get a whole lot of points. I wonder why. Terrence West was doing good there for a while. President of the Browns inactive last Sunday was not due to any. West was surprised inactive Sunday with no reason being ultimately called the coach's decision. He needs to show more improvement on the practice field. Going to be active in future weeks, so it doesn't look like they're going to play him too much because he was a pretty big producer there. He produced 10 and 15 points and then 10 again, so he wasn't bad. And now he's not practicing well for the Browns, so they're not giving him a lot of playtime. They even made him inactive last Sunday, so that's not good news for me. I'm probably going to try to hold on to him, but at the time that I swapped out running backs, Chris Ivory for Smith. Smith was about the best available running back when I made that swap. So let's go ahead and go in and see if we can't get at least the projections a little bit closer, because right now it looks like the projections have me going to get swallowed up. Does he have anybody he needs to replace, or has he already done his work? It looks like he already done his work. I need to decide if I'm going to play Brady tonight against the Jets or if I'm going to play Romo, and I think I'm going to go with Brady. Romo, again, not practicing on Wednesdays. That's not anything unusual. So let's go ahead and go to my team here. I think I am going to go ahead and play Brady tonight. So go to my bench here. And this is the first time in a long time I've actually put in Brady instead of Romo. As you can see, Romo's been a little better point producer. But I have a feeling tonight against the Jets, who aren't that good of a team, Brady may have another big game like he had last week. All right, McCoy needs to be replaced because he's on a bye, so let's go ahead and put in Antone Smith. He plays at Baltimore 11 a.m. on Sunday. Not a big point producer, but well, actually he's producing more than LaShawn McCoy. And McCoy has been a big disappointment because I drafted him, I believe I drafted him first round, like second pick. I picked McCoy up. He was supposed to be everybody thought that he was going to be a big running back, and he just hasn't produced like he's expected. I mean, if you look at Smith here, he's produced more points than McCoy so far this season. And mainly that's because of more touchdowns and more yards receiving, it looks like. Obviously, McCoy has more yards running, but he only has 1 TD. And that's a surprise for LaShawn. It really is. And that would also might be, because the 2 running back set that the Eagles are running now as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put in Smith. Who knows? He might produce more than McCoy would have anyway. Richardson, I'm going to leave him in. I need to get my receiver up here. I think I'm going to go with, since Green's still hurt, I think I'm going to go with Andre Holmes. Not too bad. 3 touchdowns, 269, but not great either. But definitely probably better than Cole Beasley, who I picked up last week. All right, let's see here. I think I'm going to leave in, especially against the Jets, I'm going to definitely leave in Stephen Gutowski over Shane Graham in New Orleans. New Orleans hasn't been doing that well this year, especially against Detroit. That's a stiff defense. I'm definitely going to leave in Detroit. I've already got rid of my only other defense anyway with Arizona, so I got rid of them last week when I picked up Beasley on that hunch that he might do well for the Cowboys. All right, let's see. The only other option I really have here to think about, I think, is not Golden Tate. Who was it? Oh, yeah, Golden Tate. I could put in a running back here instead. I could put in Terrence West, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I also could put in, I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's about the only all options I have without going out and getting some more players, drafting some more players, and I'm not going to do that now. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this. And we'll go back and take a look and see what the... I'm probably going to have another ad here to cut out. Well, maybe not. All right. So at least it's a little closer now. It's showing me at 103 and T-Money at 109. And I believe I've got all my position filled up now. It's only got Andre Holmes projected at 1 point against the Arizona defense on Sunday. We'll see why it's doing that. I think he's done pretty well lately. So last week he produced 24, then 13 before that. He had a bye on week 5, and then 2 and 4. I don't know, after a big week, 24 against San Diego, I'm surprised that it only has him projected for 1 point against the Cardinals. He did have a big week last week, but still you would think he'd get more than 10 yards. So I bet you that Holmes does better than the 1 point projection here. But some of my other guys may not do as good as their projections either, such as Julio Jones. It'd be awesome if he got 24 points, but I kind of doubt he will. We'll see. And Brady, who knows? He had a big game last week with 30 points, I believe, but 20 is a big projection number. Going against DeMarco Murray this week, that is a big tough one. Murray, we know how good he's been doing lately. Wow. Dan Bailey. All right, well, looks like we got a very stiff competition. Larry Fitzgerald, Watkins, Sammy Watkins, Antonio Gates, 49ers defense. Wow. Bell for Pittsburgh. It's going to be a tough matchup. And then Marshawn Lynch for Seattle. This is Russell Wilson, of course, is always, you can always play lights out. It's going to be a tough week this week for me in fantasy football, and this may be the week that I lose, the first week that I lose. It certainly wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, projections show me losing by a few points, but it could be a much bigger wipeout than that. We'll see. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Brady, Antone Smith, Trent Richardson as my running backs, Antonio Holmes for Oakland, Julio Jones, Larry Donnell, Golden Tate, Kowski, and the Lions. He's got bigger names up here for sure, I would say, at least this week. Some of my guys hurt, like A.J. Green and Sean McCoy out for a bye. I think that he's definitely got bigger names playing this week. So we're going to go ahead and see what happens, though, and hopefully Brady will have a big 30-something point game again tonight, and that'll help me out. All right, guys, I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching. Be sure you leave me any comments about what you think. How are you doing in your fantasy football league? What's your record? If you have any questions on, whatever you think, you have any questions about who you should play or whatever, definitely put that in the comments below. Let me know what you think of these videos as well. Be sure you give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. That does help me. Be sure you subscribe to me if you haven't as well. I'm definitely going to show you all my fantasy football games and what happens. So if I get into the playoffs in this fantasy football league, I'll definitely continue to show you what happens in the fantasy football playoffs as I enter those. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. This has been Zaxter99, and take care, everybody.